Hi, Carolyn Lilley here, and I'm coming to you this week with the topic of awakening Christians to get out and vote biblical values. We are in the midst of election season. I'm sure people are getting tired of the election campaigns and all the commercials you see on TV. However, it is a responsibility of each citizen to get out and vote. Now, for the Christian, it's especially important to get out and vote. We need to be the salt and light in our country and government in supporting candidates who stand up for biblical values. Now, I'm concerned that there are millions of Christians who are going to stay home again this season and not vote. This should not be. We are not being the salt and light, and we are being a poor example to others by not getting out and voting. Let's get out and vote. Now, what are these biblical values that we should consider when voting for a candidate? I'm glad you asked that. Well, the first one is the sanctity of life. We should look for a candidate who values life, the life of the preborn. God values the life of the preborn. It says in Psalm 139 that He has knit us together in our mother's womb, that He knows us before we were even formed. He has written books about us before we even lived a day that are in heaven. God also says in Proverbs 3:17 that He detests the hands that take innocent blood. We do not want to see a candidate in office who is for abortion. So please consider that in your voting. Secondly, we need to consider the sanctity of life between a man and a woman. That's a biblical value. God made man and woman for each other, and we need to honor that, the sanctity of marriage. Thirdly, we need to be looking at whether or not a candidate stands for religious liberty and for our being able to worship together as Christians. Hebrews 10:25 talks about not forsaking the gathering together and worshiping God. But during the pandemic, we certainly found out who was for religious liberty and who was not. In my state, Kentucky, the governor basically criminalized it at one point on Easter Sunday. He needs to be voted out. He is not standing for our religious liberty. And lastly, we need to get informed on each of the political parties' platforms, each of the candidates' views, and use spiritual discernment and prayer in choosing a candidate. Particularly when we have two candidates that say they're both Christians, you need to look at their voting record if they have one, what they have done while in office in terms of what they are standing for. Are they standing for life? Are they standing for abortion? Are they standing for the sanctity of marriage? Are they standing for our religious liberty? We need to be looking at these things. Even if they both say they're Christians, there's obviously one right candidate and one wrong candidate to vote for. So finally, I say pray, discern, be informed, and get out and vote on biblical values. This is Carolyn Lilley. Until next week, have a good week.